Hello everyone, welcome back to another 2v2 Warhammer battle. This is going to be double vampire counts with the lovers. We have Vlad von Karstein and Isabella von Karstein over here that I took control of. So they are both on the field. We're facing off against a greenskin and a Empire player. For my army, of course, we have Isabella, two Blood Knights, a front line of Skeletal Warriors, a secondary vampire who is Death, bringing the Devils of Schwarzenhofen, and then the Claw and Nagash, and one group of Cryptors. For my ally, we have a front line of Graveguard with the Sternsmen, two Skeletal Warriors, of course, Vlad von Karstein, two Cryptors, and a White King, and then one Blood Knight and a Dire Pack in Vanguard deployment. For the enemy, for the Orcs, we had two Vanguard deployed Squig two Squig Hoppers, including the renowned one. We have two Orc Boy Biggins, three Archers, two Orc Air Boys, and one Rusty Arrow Giant, a bunch of Savage Orc Biggins, Azhag the Slaughterer. And then we have a bunch of Swordsmen, Rifles with the Silver Bullets. We have the Jade Wizard, Karl Franz, and a Light Wizard. Then the Sunmaker and a Knights of the Blazing Sun, and then Zentler's Reichsguard. So two double casting it today, which is something I rarely do. It's totally viable. I don't do it, but it's totally viable. So I'm going to try and engage the Orc player by having my line be like over here, because I want to split these people. I don't want to have them fight together, so I want the Orcs to detach from this main line, and I want them to fight me. And I need to make sure that I micro this back area carefully. I need to try and take out their Archers. I need to try and take out their Orc Borbor Biggins and the Squig Hoppers. I tried to catch the Squig Hoppers right here, and we kind of did, but they were still able to just walk right through, so this is going to be a waste of zombie. I'm going to get my Blood Knights in this forest over here, my allies getting their Blood Knights in the forest over there, along with the Dire Packets. They're going to be marching up towards the Empire player over there. Because the thing is, I don't want my army to get caught by the Light Wizard and these Rifleman shenanigans. So that's why I'm trying to get way over here, away from them. Because I have a lot of units susceptible to that type of stuff. So we're going to have the zombies just kind of get focused down. Light Wizard is going to go fly back up here. Sunmaker, I think, uses all of its ammunition, or at least most of it. But they're using it, I think, on Graveguard, which can resist a lot of the damage with their higher armor. This Giant is going to be a pain in the ass, because the Vampire counts, unless you, like, throw some Blood Knights into him, they kind of... My front line's going to have a hard time dealing with a Giant, basically, is what I'm saying. But we're going to engage against the Savage Orc Biggins, which are definitely a lot better than Skeletal Warriors. Hoping that the Vampire and the Mortis Engine can support that. I'm going to try and pin these guys down with a group of zombies. And then I'm going to have our Blood Knights come out and try and catch another zombie here. Because I want to try and catch these Orc Boy Biggins so they can't actually charge. And when we charge them is what I want to do. Azhag flying over our army. You can see my Skeletal Warriors just getting pummeled by these Savage Orc Biggins because they are just way outclassed. And then I get a rear charge with the Devil's Horseman into the Savage Orc Biggins. And we're going to pull them back here soon. So I casted the zombie there, but it did not really catch all the units that I wanted to, so they're still going to get some decent charges off. Azhag's going to come down here. I'm going to cast a Beguilement on him, and then we're going to do an AoE heal for my allies, or for my Blood Knights. Meanwhile, over here, the Dire Pack got crushed by, I think, this squad up here. And then we have the Blood Knights running away as well. Front line of Cryptors pierced through the front line Swordsmen are now dealing with some of the Riflemen, and the Graveguard are going to be coming up behind. And it's at this point, and I was playing it like this, and I was about to start microing my front line because it was faltering, but then I'm like, oh shit. And I'm seeing all the double casters and Karl Franz marching over here. I'm seeing all of the cav coming over here. So basically, the Empire player is just abandoning their troops over here because they're going to die against all these Graveguard and a Vlad von Karstein that can summon zombies, which he's already doing, or maybe it's skeletons. No, it's zombies. So like they're kind of sacrificing everything and bringing it all to bear down on my Blood Knights, which are now just crushed the two Orc Boy Biggins. Although we did take a lot of damage in return for one of our Blood Knights, I held off these Dirk Squiz with a summoned zombie, and Isabella helped the whole situation with her stand your ground, or whatever the hell it's called for the Vampire. So melee, or melee defense and leadership buff, whatever the hell that's called. But yeah, my front line is just getting crumbled, as I knew it would, but I'm trying to just protect my Claw and Nagash, and now seeing these guys all coming down, and I'm going to get netted here, I was like, shit, I was not expecting the Empire player to basically abandon their post, and let the Graveguard and Vlad just kind of overwhelm them. So, was not prepared, but we're going to try and back off a little bit. I'm trying to run interference with our zombies here, so they can't just run straight through into our Blood Knights. I want them to run straight through into our zombies to kind of get held up. Azhag is going to start engaging Isabella von Karstein, and I'm kind of keeping the Devil's Horseman back. I'm running this guy away from the Giant who was killing them. And now this Giant is actually going to be killing my Vampire of Death, but I wasn't focused over there because I'm seeing all this hate coming down my way, and I'm like, shit. I got a lot to deal with here. So we're going to do a charge on the Knights of Blazing Sun. We're caught up on the zombies, but now here comes Karl Franz. Here comes their wizards. Azag is chasing off Isabella because I don't want to get caught in the middle of this. I do throw in my Claw and Nagash because I gave it a move order, but it is going to be focused down by, I think Karl moves over there to try and fight it. I'm going to do another AoE here on my Blood Knights, try and do what we can. Devil Sword Shop, I'm going to go over here and silence the rusty arrows because I do not want them firing anymore. And you can see, as I said, the Empire player just sacrificed their entire army to the Vampire count, to Vlad, to try and, I guess, crush my Blood Knights and Isabella, to try and crush me. So, a risky move, a risky move. Now, if they can crush me together, and I have nothing left, then I think that's almost, maybe, no, it's not worth it, because you're losing all of your riflemen, too, and that's very expensive, and that's a big part of your army, but, okay, so their army is going to get overrun by Vlad von Karstein, so now I just need to hold off all of this shit. Orc Air Boys coming in. I'm still trying to kill the Rusty Airs. I have Mark of Beguilement maybe on Karl Franz, or maybe that comes later. That may come later. But yeah, this thing is going to get focused down by the Zinno's Reichsguard and the Turkic Squig, so that's going to die. So I ran it away from the Giant, just die over here. And then my Vampire actually just crumbled over here because I didn't disengage from the Giant until it was too late. That's my bad, but I was just too focused on what was happening over here. Going to disengage from this as my zombies that I just recently summoned are going to keep all of these guys held together, and I'm going to try and destroy the rest of the Knights of the Blazing Sun as they are being affected by the wall. And you see Vlad's army is now marching down the hill, getting into these Orc Air Boys here and here. My Devils almost killed the Rusty Airs there. And then I think I'm going to pull them back and maybe help against these Orc Air Boys. But I'm seeing what's happening here, and I'm like, this is bad. I need to rejoin Vlad's army. So we're going to take what we have, the important units that are left anyway. And I'm going to charge this Orc Air Boy with the White King, and we're just going to disengage from here and let the zombies do their thing. And you can see another net coming down to try and slow Vlad's army. Devil Sword Sniper are going to come over here and cut off these Orc Air Boys. I'm going to recharge them with what Blood Knights I have left in Isabella. We're just going to try and isolate and destroy units here and there. And you see the Orc player, I guess they're just too focused on what's going on over there with Azag because they're not microing the Giant and the two Savage Orc Biggins who are just sitting there. So I'm like, that's fine. I'm not going to charge them because if they're not going to fight, then I'm not going to engage them. But we are going to do a lot of damage to these Orc Air Boys, and then we're going to disengage from here because now my two summoned zombies are dead, so they're not holding back all of this anymore. And then I'm going to go over here and again rejoin Vlad von Karstein because there's no reason to fight this on my own with Vlad's army all just sitting right here, including an almost full Blood Knight. So I'm like, okay. So we're going to go around and we're going to do a rear charge on these Savage Orc Biggins because they are held in place by these Cryptors. There are some Gunners, I think, left alive. Maybe not, actually. Maybe they all died. We do have some Orc Air Boys, though. But yeah, I think the Riflemen did die. There are some Swordsmen, though, that are coming over here that are going to be dealing with some Graveguard. Now, this player does kind of charge ahead a little bit. They charge their Blood Knights, White King, and Vlad von Karstein ahead of the rest of their Graveguard, like the front line, which was a little weird, so I'm like, shit. So now I'm going to go over there and try and support them while I can, because these Blood Knights against all these Knights, Karl Franz and Azag and all this shit, they're not going to last that long. And you can see they're getting kind of crushed pretty quickly. Well, crush is a strong word, but they are getting beaten. So I'm going to come over here. We're going to cast Master of Beguilement on Karl Franz to lower his melee attack down to 0. There it is. And then we are going to try and re-crush these Orc Boy Biggins and this Orc Arrow Boy before they join the fray over here. I'm going to have the Devil's Torch Knocking going on the Light Wizard because they are, the Light Wizard's low armor. And the Devils have 100 melee attack, or I guess actually more right now. But there we are, we're crushing the Orc Boy Biggins before they can jump in here. You can see the summoned zombies from Vlad von Karstein holding the Knights in place. We dealt some damage to Azag at this point. Karl Franz did escape to the fringe, so it isn't taking too much damage. We did do some damage to the Light Wizard, but I wanted to pull out before I got caught up by the Zinno's Reichsguard. Here comes the Giant and the Savage Orc Biggins now. We did reroute those Orc forces back here. I guess we didn't get the Orc Arrow Boys. But I'm going to rejoin the force here. I'm going to try and kill, I think, Karl Franz at this point. I charged Karl Franz with Isabella and my double Blood Knights. Back here, these guys get re-hit with another net spell. Devil's Force Snuff, I'm going to fly over this army into these Orc Arrow Boys who came back from routing. I'm going to disengage again, and we're going to try and charge once more into these guys, and then ping-pong back and forth like bloop, 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 bloop. I realized I didn't do any bloops this fight, so bloop, 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 right there. So that's what we're doing. Another charge on Karl Franz, who now has this damage back up, and there's also a Giant here. So now they're on Vlad von Karstein. We do have a White King, we do have summoned zombies, but the Blood Knights, I think, are dead. I think they died. Yeah, because there's just so much. But here comes another zombie from Vlad von Karstein. Blood Knights are finishing up these Orc Arrow Boys. Karl Franz has been dealt a significant amount of damage, which is great. You know, so at this point, I was doing this over and over and over again. I'm like, bloop, 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 and that's what I was doing, because they weren't moving the fucking force. I'm like, bloop, move your forces, we need this Graveguard. So then over here, Azag, I'm going to try and focus him down now, because he's isolated, so we're going to fight him with the Blood Knights and Isabella. Carl Franz just kind of hanging out above this army. I guess they're probably afraid to land with Vladimir Carson and Viking there. But here comes the remainder of the Zentler's Reichsguard, but you can see the Orc boys are, for the most part, being routed off by the fear that the Viking and Vlad have. At this point, they leave. They leave the game. They probably wouldn't have won. I mean, there's still a ton of Graveguard. There's still Vlad. But they, at the very least, they probably could have killed Isabella. If Karl Franz flew over here and did a charge on her, she probably would have died. Because she was actually pretty weakened from Azag. Azag was kind of kicking her ass a little bit, which I was surprised because she has a very high melee defense. So it was kind of shocking. But good game to our opponents and to my ally. I was not expecting the Empire player to abandon ship and come at me. At no point in that game did I type, "Come at me, bro." At no point in that game did I try and taunt them. I was just like, listen, let me just deal with these orcs, and then I'll get to you later. And then Karl Franz was like, "Oh no, Isabella. Oh no, F you." And I was like, oh shit. Oh god. And then I just watched their army get crushed. Like without Karl, the casters and the knights, like there was nothing that the swordsmen are going to do to protect these poor handgunners. Like, look at this. Those poor handgunners are left to die. But anyway, so good game to Kitty Champion, Kurtalicious, and Gavin to Tap. Alright, so Skeletal Warriors, they crumbled. Look, listen, Savage Orc Biggins outclassed Skeletal Warriors like 10 to 1. Like, it's not, probably even more than that. They're really good. Blood Knights did a pretty good job at crushing the Orc Cav, a couple Squig Herders, some more Knights, and various stuff. Cryptoras honestly didn't really do too much. I should have probably just thrown them in with Vlad's army and have them crush the Empire player, because these guys weren't going to do much against Savage Orc Biggins, but I threw them in there anyway, and they didn't do much. Devil Sword Snuffin got a lot of kills in archers. I guess it's cool. I wanted to try them out again. They got a lot of kills, but And this, I mismicroed and it died. Same thing with this poor vampire who died too. For Kitty Champion, Viking did great, Vlad did great, the Graveguard did great, Blood Knights did great, and these guys just crushed those poor handgunners to death. For Kurtalicious here, ton of kills on their front line, to be expected. Azak, 75 kills, a lot of kills in the Orc Air Boys and the Rusty Errors. Actually, just a ton of kills everywhere except for the Orc Boar Boy Biggins, so good job there. And then Gavin 2-tap, ton of kills on Karl. Cassius did a really good job. And the Knights, Zentler's Reichsguard got 261 kills. I mean, a lot of those are probably summoned zombies, but still, like, that's a ton of kills. And then Knights of the Winged Sun did, not as good, but still 66 kills, not bad. So yeah, good game to our opponents and to my ally Kitty Champion. So there we go. I think that's the first game I've had where it's been Vlad and Isabella. And in case you're wondering, they don't get their campaign buff in multiplayer. Like, that's not a thing. They don't get increased, what is it, melee attack for Isabella and melee defense for Vlad? If they're together? I can't remember, because I haven't played them in campaign, but yeah, that's only a campaign thing, not a multiplayer thing. But anyway, let's go watch the cinematic view of this fight. That poor vampire, man. Oh, I got her killed. She could have done so much more. I should have put her on a horse. Like, as soon as the game started, I was like, I really should have put her on a horse, because honestly, I wanted her to ride with Isabella, at least below Isabella. I didn't want to spend that much money to put her on a Hellsteed, but on a horse, because I gave her Fate of Buna, and I wanted Fate of Buna on enemy Demigryph Knights, which weren't in the battle, but I would have used them, you know, probably against something. But no, I left her mountless, so I just kept her with the infantry, and she ended up dying. Oh, that's why we died. I didn't even notice that. You cast Fate of Buna on me. You son of a bitch, Azak. How dare you? That's what I wanted to do.
Quickly! All shall burst with me!
And then here comes, like, I've never seen this in multiplayer. I've never seen someone abandon their own army to save someone else. Like, maybe these two people knew each other. That's the only thing that can explain that. Because, like, two random people, this never happens. What's the fight going on over here? Watch our vampire get killed by this giant. those damn archers!
They will suffer. All
And then this is when we just disengage, like, nope, we're done. We're done here. We're done here.
Undeath Ascendant. Excellent.
I do like the look of these guys, though. The double mohawks are pretty cool. They just look so crazy.
Agreed.
With haste!
It is done. We rule the night. I ascend. Dance macabre.
Swiftly! Battle call!
Swiftly. For my lord husband. And death for all. I am pleased. Endless night. Quickly. Death is coming.
Well, that would be fine. It's just a giant.
Knights to battle!
Be like, right here, Aztec messing me up. That's gonna be it. So thanks for watching, everybody. Hope you enjoyed the lovers. I guess the husband and wife. Well, lovers makes sense too. And I'll see you all in the next one. Take care.